It brings me great pleasure to present this update on the Nova project, and that's the installation of my vintage air conditioning unit. Now this is a very big project because it comes with a lot of pieces, and I'm going to be spending the next couple videos on the installation of this entire unit onto my Nova. Now my Nova didn't come with air conditioning, but when I first started building it and putting it all together, that was a luxury that I cannot live without. It has to have air conditioning, so this is something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Now with the custom things that I've done to the Nova, I'm hoping that it won't be tricky to install them. Custom things like the hood latch modification, that was installed a long time ago, and with the installation of the hood latch modification, I'm probably going to have to do some work on the condenser unit, the small radiator that goes in front of the main radiator, and it's for the AC unit. So that probably will present a challenge. The other challenge is the fact that I want to mount the air conditioning compressor motor on the passenger side. Now normally it goes on the driver's side, but what I don't like is a hose going across the engine, and I want it to look, you know, pretty clean. So if I mount the compressor motor on the passenger side, I will be able to keep the hoses to a minimum as far as, you know, going across the engine. So let me present you all the parts. Now it does have a lot of parts, which is why I feel that it's going to be a whole bunch of videos divided into sections. Now I'll give you a brief overview. Here's my air conditioning compressor motor. I ordered a chrome one, and I also ordered a chrome cover so that it'll go with my chrome engine setup. Here's the air conditioning lines. Since it's a custom installation, you only get half of them crimped, and the other half you have to do yourself or take it to a shop to do it for you. This is the unit that I did get. It's 69 to 72 Nova without air conditioning. So what that just means is the Nova that you have doesn't have the air conditioning as a factory option. So they include, with the ones that do not have AC, they include this, which goes under the dashboard, and I probably won't be using that. I really don't think I'm gonna like that. It comes with the vents, which look very factory, and so I might do some modifications to the dashboard to be able to make it look a little more factory. So we'll get to that as it goes on. It comes with some plastic for the hoses that will go on this one on the firewall. This was inside the car. A couple AC lines, aluminum hard lines. It comes with a new. I especially like this. As you know, the Novas, they come with a cardboard glove compartment. Well, this comes with a plastic one, so this is definitely an improvement over what came factory from the Nova. So I'm pretty excited about that. Here's the air conditioning condenser unit, that little radiator, which I will most likely be modifying to try to get it to fit. It comes with a dryer, so definitely gonna need that. And here is the main unit right here. This is it right here. This is where it all happens. We got the air conditioning lines here, and it got the heater lines here, and it does state that it can go with R12 or R134, but you know I'm going to go with the R134 so that I can readily get the Freon. And then of course it comes with a lot of little bags. This here is something very interesting. It enables me to use the actual controls for the heater that's stock and convert them into electronic ones so that it can use the servo motors. And so it comes with some bracketry. Here's the other half of the heater line, air conditioning lines where you need a crimping tool. It comes with a lot of wires. What else? It comes with some, there's a little motor there for the heater. This gets installed in line with the heater hoses. Some more wires and some more screws and miscellaneous stuff. Here's the vents that go on the top of the dashboard, so that gets replaced as well. These are nice. I got the ducting right here. It comes with two different types, two different sizes, so that will be used. And it comes with a plate. Now, this is, when I did my research, this is the reason why I got that heater delete plate, because I did not like this. I will be using it, but I will not be leaving it as it is. Basically, this gets installed on the inside of the car, and well, when you look at the firewall, you're going to see this, and this is really ugly. So the heater delete plate will go over this, and that is going to be really good. That's why I got the heater delete plate. So now I'll show you what I'm going to be doing and the plans that I will be taking for the Nova. So now for the plans. Now I was so excited getting the vintage air set up that I started tearing into the Nova. And before I get too far, I want to be able to show you what I'm doing. So I had to stop myself, get the camera out, and start filming. So now we'll start with the inner fender. The inner fender had to be removed because I need to access that heater core cover. And so when I removed the inner fender, you can see that everything is still attached. I didn't have to unbolt, loosen, or anything to the hood, hinge, fender, or core support in order for me to remove that inner fender. That's a big bonus because I don't want to go and adjust everything again, because it took me hours to get this adjusted. And I really don't want to go for it again. So now, when I remove the inner fender, I have total access to the workspace I need to work with. Now, the heater core cover has to be removed. The air conditioning unit will be behind there, and instead of a motor there, those are where all the lines are going to come out. So it's very important that I'm able to work on this entire area, because I do want my air conditioning lines and heater lines to run behind the fender so that I can hide them as much as possible. Now, one of the challenges that will be presented is getting that condenser behind my hood latch modification set up. So I didn't have the condenser when I first started making this hood latch modification, but I did know that I would eventually put air conditioning. So I just tried to wing it and make the bracketry and kind of simulate where the condenser would be. But I know that I will have to make some modifications, and we'll get to that as I get to that point. So we'll have to see how that works. Now, before I removed everything, I know that I wanted my air conditioning motor right here on top of the alternator. Now, when I presented the engine in videos in the past, I did state that I wanted my air conditioning motor here, and which is why I bought a bracket to move the alternator down there. The other reason is I wanted the alternator in line with the power steering, so you can see they're in line with each other. Now, the main reason, having the AC here, I needed to see how it would fit by simulating, by holding the air conditioning motor here, and to see how I would have to have it. Upon doing that, I found that the air conditioning motor would most likely be right here, not directly on top, but a little bit offset, and the battery is right here, and the air conditioning motor and the battery actually conflict each other. I mean, I need the battery gone. So another modification to be done is moving the battery to the trunk. Now the plan is I want to still simulate that the battery is still here. So these cables will not be removed. It will stay here. And basically the plan is I want to bring the power from the trunk to the engine bay, and then I will get some posts so that these cables will attach to those posts, and it will be like the battery is still here. And those posts will be attached to the inner fender. And so I don't know if I want to use the holes, but most likely I would have one of each a positive post and a negative post. And so I made a couple purchases, and we'll see how that works out as we get along. But that's the plan. I want the battery to be simulated as if it was still here, so that I can attach the original factory cables to that power source. So we'll see how that works. Now, I need the air conditioning motor here because normally it would go here. And you can see all the stuff that's already on this side with the master cylinder, the brake system. I got some hoses running over here from the emission setup, vapor canister, windshield washer, reservoir. Too much stuff on that side, and this side is all empty. And then with the removal of that, it'll be even more flat, more space. So to me, it made sense to have the air conditioning motor here. Not to mention, if it was here, we'd have a hose going all the way across the engine and into where it needs to be. And well, you can see here a hose going across the engine, and to me, in my opinion, it just looks terrible. So it's absolutely necessary that I have it here to limit the amount of hoses. Basically, the air conditioning will be here. Some hoses will go through here. There's a hole already there, so I'm going to try to implement that hole to get my air conditioning unit through as far as hoses. And then of course the other hoses will go here and behind the fender. I'm going to try to hide as much of it as possible. So we'll have to see how that works. That's the introduction to the plans for installing the AC. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm going to try to take you along throughout each step of the way. So there'll be a couple videos, and I'm hoping that you guys get entertained by it as I take you along for the installation of this big project. So, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.